Julie, there was a time that you wanted to monetize. And I don't know that if you're doing it now or if you're not, but there was a time that you wanted to monetize. And I think you called me. We got on a call. And if I remember correctly, you were like wondering if you could even monetize. And you were wondering how much you could monetize. And I think you thought it was some small number. And then we ended up doing some stuff and it ended up being a much bigger number. I don't remember those numbers, but I think it was like, oh, do you think I could get a couple $100 a month? And then we ended up doing a couple $1,000 a month.
Wow, you have
like
a great memory. Yes.
All right. So how did you find to monetize? What were some of the key takeaways that if our listeners is here and they're like, how would I monetize? What would be something that you would share with a person who is talking to you today?
The thing that helped me, and I think that makes for good monetizing, is ensuring that it's going to work for your listener and the sponsor. Because if the sponsor isn't getting results, they are not going to want to continue to be your sponsor. And so you have to have a sponsor who's aligned with your listener base and providing a product or service that is going to spark intrigue and excitement with your actual listener, which means you need to know who your avatar is. Go back to our episode a long time ago on avatar and go back so that you're very clear about, this is my avatar. This is my ideal listener. We could call it that, right? And then, these are things, these are their pain points, and these are solutions that I can bring into my show. Now, for my show, I have a lot of opportunities because I talk about health, mindset, and wealth, and that resonates. My ideal listener really deeply cares about those three things. So for me, finding, a tax strategist as well works well. And I won't go into all the details, but I have a lot of variety. So when you're thinking about monetizing, again, think about what are the things, the solutions that you can bring to your listener, and who are the people you can collaborate with so that they can sponsor and they can win. Because good business is always done when we all win. I love winning, and I don't know anybody that likes losing. So if everybody's winning, it works out really well.
So I think that's a really ultimate step one. Step one really sounds like what I'm hearing from you is the who. And it's determining it, basically who's the right person that fits with my podcast, my listener, and has enough money, has a good enough budget probably, that they could put it into a podcast and for a few months, because it's going to probably take a while until anything ever happens before somebody calls them. It's going to take months, probably maybe 6 months before they get their first call or two. So it's like, who is the right person? Who has the budget for that? Who can serve my avatar? And also maybe who doesn't take away from my business. So for example,
yes,
I'm going to pretend for a second, I'm let's say a securities attorney, and I have a podcast, and some other securities attorney was like, oh, well, that's my audience. So I could be on there. I could certainly push business to somebody else, but it wouldn't really work so well because my person knows me best and they probably want to hire me more than they want to hire that person. And B, if they did hire that person, then it would be taking business away from me. So it's like, who is the right person, and do they have enough money, or is their message right? And maybe a third thing is, do I trust them? Do I trust that they can help my listener? And so I would say if there's a fourth thing besides having trust, maybe just having a relationship, because I've noticed with many clients that I've helped get monetizing on their shows that one of the biggest pieces of success was that fourth piece where they actually were able to reach out to the owner. Others that have failed have had to try to go through a gatekeeper and just kept not even getting through. So they spend a whole bunch of time and effort not ever being able to talk to the person who's a decision maker. So on that fourth thing, if you have the ability to communicate with that person, you have a relationship with that person, you know their phone number, you see them every day, that can also help. Or you work with them, that can also help.